What's going on YouTube? Today's video is going to be about Black Ops 7. I'm going to talk about score streaks, gameplay, movement, maps, so on and so forth. We're going to do it as a little voiceover while you get to watch some of my gameplay from a pre-recorded save I had while the beta was still out. Gave myself some time to really think about the points, kind of understand what I liked about the game, what I didn't like about the game. Also got a little bit of my friends' input on what they didn't like, so I'll be talking about that too, to give a more broad range of what everyone was feeling, not just my own perspective. So yeah, let's get into it. So firstly, the gameplay slash gunplay felt really good. From level 1 to level 30, which was the cap for this beta, it was all pretty smooth sailing. I will say none of the iron sights, except for I believe on the gun that I'm showing you in this gameplay, went well. All of the iron sights kind of looked blurry, so the more you looked at it, there would be a off blur. I didn't personally like that, but that was quickly fixed with like an optic or changing your settings. Gameplay wise, the game felt fresh, it felt new, and it felt familiar, and that was the biggest thing for me. I didn't have to learn anything necessarily new other than the movement, which this game has wall bouncing, very similar to, I'd say, the jetpack CODs of past years, but you didn't cling onto the walls, you didn't have to reserve boost or anything. It was very boom, boom, boom. You can go from one wall to the next and keep it all in flow. Next, I'd say with gameplay, all the matches felt pretty good. That kind of goes into telling how their matchmaking system has been a little bit tweaked on this game. They recently opened up to us about how they are removing slash downscaling skill-based matchmaking. And for those of you that do not know what skill-based matchmaking is, it's right there in the name. Better players will be facing better players. Worse slash players that don't play as frequently will be playing people that also don't play as frequently to create a more harmonious match, more even, quote-unquote, fair match. Now that they're taking that out, you're gonna sometimes get those people that are absolute nerds on the game, such as myself, such as most of my friend group, that do play the game more than the average person, that are more knowledgeable, more skillful on the game than the average person. However, even on that note, we get people that play even more than us, that are, I hate to say it, a little bit better than us, and you can always tell in your match who's the worst player and who's the better player. And I absolutely love that. I kind of hated the last couple of years of COD because they had skill-based matchmaking and because of how strong it was. It was always I have to be on my best to play a simple public match, which became tiring after a certain amount of time. I just want to go into a public match. I'm not trying to play competitively, at least in that given moment. If I did want to, they have a whole ranked mode. I believe skill-based matchmaking is going to be perfect if they integrate that only for ranked play. Now, as of me recording this, I'm not sure if they're going to do ranked play. I don't see why not. They've done it for the past couple of years. So, I hope and pray that they put skill-based matchmaking only in ranked gameplay. How they did it in this game for the beta was they called it open playlist, meaning anyone on your server could join you and you'd be good. Matches didn't disband after the game was done, so if you liked that game, you can continue to play against those people / with those people that you recently just won or lost with, and that overall has been a staple of COD, I'd say, for decades now. And for them to tweak it wasn't received the best, even from myself. I personally, like I was just explaining, don't see why they did that, but it's all kind of to protect the players that don't get to play as much, don't know as much, and in that standpoint, I can kind of understand that. I will say there's a few interesting aspects about the skill-based matchmaking that you could kind of tell. I would switch between the open playlist and the regular playlist, and I'd feel sometimes like there was no difference. So, at least in this beta, I'm not sure how cranked up the matchmaking was for skill-based or how low it was, but it wasn't always consistent in either game mode, or rather playlist. And I even talked to my friends about it, like, let's try to play this game mode, let's try to play this one. I want to see if you guys see any differences, and oftentimes they said very rarely that they saw a difference. And I believe that could be for two reasons. Maybe skill-based matchmaking isn't cranked up as high when you're in those normal playlists, so you're not really facing like best of the best, or it's the counter where it's much lower ceiling for what they consider good, so you're getting more mid-tier. I play occasionally, this isn't my main game, but I still play video games. I've still played previous Call of Duty, so I know what's happening. So yeah, the next thing I wanted to talk about was overclocking, which is kind of new to me and new to this game. You were able to add on additional quote-unquote perks to your lethal, your tactical, and your score streaks that would improve them or make them act differently. I believe that's a really nice aspect that this game did, although they didn't really make it known. You'd have to kind of look out for it. You'd have to already know what to do. In those games that I did use overclocking mechanics that they put in the game, I could tell that the people I was playing with and against also did. So I'm not sure if there's some type of code where if you use things that use this overclocking mechanic, that they put you in with other people that would use it, i.e. people that are more familiar with the game or know what to look out for. I believe that if I were getting into lobbies with more knowledgeable people, I'd still didn't completely feel a difference, which is interesting. Next, I wanted to talk about the score streaks. The score streaks, in my opinion, felt a little underwhelming at most times, and it'd be a map-by-map basis where each score streak kind of excelled or was lackluster. And although I don't have any gameplay of that specifically here, you could easily tell the score streaks people were getting were all pretty much the same. UAV, counter UAV, and then maybe like a watchdog or maybe the dogs, aka hunter-killer drones for this game, which doesn't really give you much diversity in the score streaks. I feel like a good Call of Duty or good game like this or Battlefield have a identity of score streaks to a certain degree, because you play so well, you want to continue to control the map, control the other team, display some level of dominance, and continue to excel. All the score streaks in this game had their counters just based off of which map you're playing. That doesn't even go into the perk system or anything like that I'll be talking about now. The perks were pretty good. They were the same ones, a lot of the same ones from previous Call of Duties. They did introduce a few different ones like Looper or Close Shave, which gave you, at least for those two specific ones, Looper would give you the ability to continue to wrap your streaks, and what that means is I could earn the highest possible streak that I have equipped, and then if I get enough score to get back to that, I typically wouldn't get that back in earlier CODs. This Call of Duty, you do. So that was really nice. However, it's kind of weird that it's a perk. Close Shave is just something that helps your melees out. It makes you regen health a little bit faster after a melee kill. Overall, I'd say the perk system is really well done. I believe Black Ops as a franchise has always kind of done well with their perk system, and it's not overwhelming. It's not like you have to have certain perks on just to do well. Granted, there's certain perks that make all aspects of your game better, like Fast Hands, Ghost, Dead Silence, stuff like that all players should run. At least one of those three to have some level of advantage, I'd say. Some level of accountability for their gameplay and making it their own. Nice little segue into the maps. The maps, I kind of liked them. I kind of hated them. It always depended upon the game mode we played. And the game modes played very differently for each map. And you're probably thinking to yourself, isn't that a good thing? Yes, to a degree. No, to other degrees, because you'd always, in my opinion, when I was playing, not really know what to expect. People could spawn right in front of you. People could spawn directly behind you. You don't know where the flows of the map necessarily are game mode to game mode, which made it a little bit tough to figure out. But within due time, I believe that could be easily remedied. And the more I played the game, the more I kind of understood, but even then, it was a little bit sensitive on when to spawn someone in and where they would spawn someone in, thus getting me killed or a free kill. And personally, no one really likes that, to spawn, take like 5-10 steps out of your spawn and then instantly be dead again. I truly believe that is something that no player really likes. I think the whole community can agree on that. All in all, that's my thoughts about the game. Please let me know what you thought about the game. If you have anything to comment, maybe even disagree with me, agree with me, who knows. And YouTube, I'll see you next Zap Sunday. Later.